What is good, BTT Universe? Oh, first and foremost, a big time thank you to all of you who have made this show what it is. We have passed the 5,000 subscriber mark, and we could not thank you enough in just a couple of months. But when you see my numbers guy, Raphael, here with me, that can mean only one thing: a WWE pay-per-view. And we've got to talk odds and betting and everything under the sun because, Raphael, you're the one that makes these odds. So, as we head into Clash at the Castle, it is Scotland. I've been there several times. It's a great country. But this is about one guy. Who, Raphael?
Drew McIntyre. That's the guy. I mean, it's pretty much he's all over the posters. He's been saying it for months that he can't wait to go to his home turf or home mat, whatever you want to call it, to get the title. This one's going to be interesting. I don't want to mention what the odds on this one, but this one's a very, very interesting match. I was going back and forth, and when I was doing these odds, I felt like I was doing WrestleMania or SummerSlam odds. That's how lenient it was. Because normally these events, you'll have some big favorites, but this one, I can't wait. This is probably a match that I really can't wait because I have no clue what can happen because there's so many storylines that can go a different way.
And that's when it's at its best. I remember during my full-time time during the WWE, whenever we'd go to Europe or Asia or any of these other countries, it was never for a big pay-per-view. It was always for house shows in between Raw and SmackDown, and then occasionally we do a Raw. But times have changed, and you've got to have a big-time guy to sell this to. And Drew McIntyre, I'm so proud of him because he came back right when I was leaving, and he's had so many ups and downs, Raphael. He's a good dude. He's really got into his character now, and I think he's going to be able to sell this pay-per-view pretty much by himself. But we'll get to him in a second. So I've always tasked you with finding 3 bets or at least 3 storylines that you like. Because let's be honest, some of these books, they will limit how much you can bet, but it's fun. So let's start with the Intercontinental Championship, a guy whose character I'm really starting to fall in love with, and that is Chad Gable, and he's got a whole stable of talent follow him around all the time, taking on Sami Zayn. Your thoughts?
Yeah, this one's interesting because he doesn't have a contract as of right now. Last time I checked, his contract's pretty much up. I think over the summer. I'm hearing he's going to sign. That means that's why I made him the favorite. He opened up at minus 190. Now he's minus $2. I think the betting public realizes that the way he's been on camera and the way he's been doing mat work and stuff like that, it's been phenomenal. I've enjoyed his matches, enjoyed his segments. So they're going to sign him. They have to sign him. And it's going to be very interesting to see where this storyline goes because I'm hearing a lot of rumors that they're going to add more people to his university because I think a couple people are going to be leaving his university. So I'll take Chad Gable at minus $2 against Sami Zayn. Sami Zayn, there's one of the ones he doesn't need to win this match. He's Sami Zayn. He's still going to get a pop when he comes back to the States. This is Chad Gable's night for this one, so I'll lay the price.
Chad Gable is the poster child for never say die, never give up, because he was just starting back when I was leaving some 10, 15 years ago, and he could have many, many times said, you know what, they're not using me as part of 205, all these different things. He didn't do that, kept working on it, and I tell people all the time, you never know when you're going to hit something that absolutely works, and this works for him. All right. Match number 2. And I don't care what anybody says, Raphael. Logan Paul is a big-time asset, whether he's there full-time or whether he is not. The man is an absolute star. But so is LA Knight. So is Carmelo Hayes. So the U.S. Championship is on the line. Your take?
Well, Carmelo Hayes is going to be a star. He's not a star yet. He's new into the big brands, but I love his character. I love his mic work. But I'm torn on this one. Me and you have back and forth. Love Logan Paul's work. I mean, even Joey and says that he's phenomenal backstage with asking questions of all the wrestlers, trying to improve his stock, his mat work. I love Logan Paul, but I'm totally blown away in how they're mistreating LA Knight's character. I mean, one time you thought he was going to be up there, he's getting huge props, and now he's in a 3-way match for the United States Championship, which he's gonna lose. That's Logan Paul's minus 1,500. If he drops it, he's gonna drop it at a SummerSlam or a WrestleMania. He's not gonna drop it in non-U.S. soil. We'll put it that way. But I picked this one because I'm totally torn on how they're mishandled LA Knight. I would love to know your 2 cents about LA Knight and how they handle him. But I'm just kind of shocked. Carmelo Hayes, he will be there in a couple of years. I think he's a bright star. Very good, like I said, mic work. But I'm just torn away on LA Knight. LA Knight 701. I mean, it just seems like months ago he had huge pops. looking like a young Stone Cold with his vest out there. But yeah, Logan Paul minus 1,500 easily wins.
So here's the problem with LA Knight is he's not a spring chicken. He'd been around for a minute, so he had a lot of different things out there. And I believe that sometimes organizations, especially entertainment organizations, they can read into social media way too much. And the WWE is based off of what fans want, correct? That's what it is. And so they read social media and, oh, LA Knight is stealing this guy's mic work, or he's stealing this guy's moves, or whatever it is, instead of just saying, this guy's entertaining and this guy I want to see more of, and we can control that. I just think this is social media controlling the narrative and controlling the creative writing room, and that's what's happening to LA Knight. It's happened to many, many guys over the years that for no reason whatsoever, they just don't get the push that people like us feel like they deserve. And we feel like LA Knight deserves that. So, but Logan Paul, once you're in, Triple H loves him. We had Hurricane right here on Behind the Turnbuckle. He's trained him. He's been his only trainer. And he told us right here on the show that nobody works harder than Logan Paul.
Great interview. Great. And what he was saying, I mean, he just, everything I was reading about backstage with Logan Paul asking all the veterans to help and all the work he was doing, what Helm said, I was just phenomenal, because it kind of gave me recognition about what I've been hearing behind closed doors. And then when he said it, I'm the only trainer, what he does was a phenomenal interview.
Thank you. That's why we started this show, and it's really kind of evolving into something that I didn't know that it was going to be. Not just stories, but also expertise on the wrestling business. And then having you now be involved, I really feel like we're getting to a really good spot with Behind the Turnbuckle and embracing the pro wrestling world. All right, let's get to the main event of the evening. We got Damian Priest and Drew McIntyre, and according to your odds, this is basically a coin flip, but how do you see it?
Yeah, I normally don't put coin flips, like I said, WrestleMania or in SummerSlam, the bigger events, but you don't see one. Normally, McIntyre in his backyard, he's facing someone else, he'd be minus 1,000, because let's say he's the home soil, the crowd's going to go nuts and not them. But here, again, pick him, minus 120 both ways. I don't see him losing this fight. I think he's going to be the champ coming back in the States. They have to, because Piper, the other homegrown one, Piper, she's going to get crushed by Bailey, so they can't go 0 for 2 in homestead. But I think Drew wins this one. Will CM Punk interfere? We have that prop bet. Yes, $3, no, 2. I'm hearing it's probably going to happen, but maybe too late, and Drew McIntyre gets the dub. Because let's face it, SummerSlam, CM Punk, Drew McIntyre, there's got to be a title involved, just because of all the positivity I'm hearing CM Punk doing in the back. Maybe the people that didn't like him to come back now are probably, hey, you know what we've seen, he's a different Punk and stuff like that. So I can see the positivity in that one. But Drew McIntyre, I'll lay to minus 120. I don't see him losing this one. But I think he comes back to the States, the champ. Damian Priest doesn't need the belt. He's still got his boys behind him. He doesn't need a championship. So I like Drew McIntyre with his brand new contract, with that coin he just got.
Yeah, The Rock sending him a nice gift the night that he signed his deal. I'm guessing he's probably in that. The numbers are very different now than they were 20 years ago when I was there in my 20s, and I'm assuming he's probably in that 2 million to 6 million range now, which back in the day that was a top guy. And now that they've changed kind of how they pay guys, I mean, Roman Reigns reportedly is between $10 and $25 million a year, but when you compare it to NFL and Major League Baseball, you should have 3 or 4 guys in that number. Cody Rhodes,
but he looks
there.
jacked right now. Roman Reigns, there's a picture floating around yesterday. Holy cow.
That's an example, Raphael, of what I've talked about for years, that if you give guys some time off to say, hey, take a month, we'll write you out, you don't need to be on, and just go home and get in the gym. Because when you're traveling all the time, the hardest thing for us when you're on the road, 52 weeks a year, 4 shows a week, and every show, Raphael, had to be 175 miles apart so that you didn't have fans going to both and you wanted to be able to sell. And so if you're driving 800 miles a week, how hard is it to get up and go to the gym every day? Very, very hard. So look, he has some time off now. He looks amazing. Look at MJF. He had several months off. How good does MJF look? Right? Guys need time off. They do. Not on DTL or
Can I get some
BTT.
time off? Can I get some time off, Coach? I need to hit the gym. And say, can I get some time off?
If I gave you time off, you'd be calling me to come right back on. You're
Yeah,
not
I
wired
would.
that way. You're not
I
wired that
would.
way. You would, 100%. All right, all of you, we drop Behind the Turnbuckle every Friday or Saturday morning. Remember, we're all trying to do multiple things. So just turn on your notifications right here on the channel. And every time we drop, whether it's like me and Raphael or a full episode, you will be notified. Tell all your friends. You want to have a fun time, hear some stories, take you back, take you forward. This is where you need to be. Raphael, as always, I appreciate you, brother. I appreciate you. All right. With all that being said, enjoy Clash at the Castle this week. It's going to be on Peacock on Saturday. You don't want to miss it. For Raphael, my numbers guy. For producer man, always behind the scenes, I am the coach. I'm just letting it wash over me. I love doing this. I love BTT. Thank you all for watching Behind the Turnbuckle. Take care.